FrenchHill is the CEO of Delta Trust and Bank. He's a former Treasury official and worked in the George H.W. Bush White House. He is the newly elected chairman of the Little Rock Regional Chamber of Commerce, a high honor for anyone in the business community. Welcome to the program.
Thank you, Roby.
Back
Great to
to
be
the
back
program.
with you.
That's right. Let's talk about some highlights from your speech to the chamber membership this past week. You talked about wanting to produce a regional report card. Tell me what that report card is going to look like, what you expect it to tell the community.
Yeah, I thought it was a great idea. It was a combination idea from members of the chamber and UALR's Economic Advancement Group, led by Jim Youngquist. And when you think about it, boards of directors, bank regulators, lenders, real estate developers, no one has a one-stop shop for the statistics about the Metro Little Rock area and comparing it to its peer group in the region, contiguous states such as Nashville or Memphis or Jackson, Mississippi, or cities that are like us that might be a Greenville, Spartanburg area or something like that, where we look not only at the main economic points, but the social statistics, forms of government, and also they're going to do some forecasting.
So this is just something that's going to basically give us a benchmark for where we are compared to communities that we often compete with for economic development projects and for quality of life.
Right. But what I like about it is that if you're trying to gather that data to make a sales pitch or a board presentation, you've got to go to the census, you've got to go to the Fed, and get a lot of different statistics and try to put them together. And IEA over at UALR will do all that and do it in a report card format, put it in a web environment, and we'll give that annual report card to the chamber audience and the city, and then it'll be available on the internet as well.
You talked about a couple of R's in your speech as well. I think you had 4 of them. The river was one of them. You talked about the river being a uniter and not a divider, which I think we have seen a lot of unity come around the river with the 2 downtown areas in particular. Do you see there being some dysfunction or lack of cooperation that needs to be improved on in that respect?
A great question. I think over the years it's just improved from the Central Arkansas Water Project that created some unity in how we do water planning on both sides of the river. Economic development is much more unified now, where North Little Rock and the other cities in the county are working together. So it's much better. And I wanted to use the Arkansas River Trail as an example of that, where we have vibrant tourism on both sides of the river now, and that's being done in I think a really outstanding way. I gave a talk several months ago or a couple of years ago to an agenda committee of the city board one night, and I said, you know, the Big Dam Bridge is the most integrated place in the city of Little Rock now. On any Sunday night in the summer, you see families out there, and it really is a uniter. So I wanted to use the river as an example to work together and not be divisive.
You talked about regionalism too, and we have seen a lot of regional economic development cooperation with the Metro Little Rock Alliance for several years. Again, and kind of the same question, do you see there being opportunity for improvement in terms of how we approach things regionally from an economic development perspective, or do you think that it is pretty much clipping on all cylinders?
No, I think there's always room for improvement there. I think the economic development officials in Little Rock and the state and the county judges and the Metro Little Rock Alliance can always work better together. But the point I wanted to make is that the Little Rock Chamber of Commerce is out recruiting jobs, and we're ambivalent about where they land as long as they land in the Metro Little Rock region.
Close enough for someone to drive to those jobs.
Yeah. You bet. And HP and Conway is a great example. Tab Townsend and the Conway and the Little Rock team did a fantastic job there. And North Little Rock and Little Rock did a fantastic job working together on Caterpillar. 2 prime examples.
You have also talked about super regionalism. I don't think it was in your speech on Monday to the chamber audience, but I know you have worked very hard to bring the Central Arkansas business community together with the Northwest Arkansas business community to work on some mutually collaborative efforts there. Tell me a little bit about that effort and where things stand, and maybe what some goals are for 2013. Will you be able to drive that train a little bit faster?
Good. Well, the 2 biggest MSAs in the state are Northwest Arkansas and Little Rock, North Little Rock, Conway. And my view was we have a lot more in common than we have that it makes us dissimilar, whether it's school or transportation issues. And we should identify what are hot topics for us that we can agree on and work together at the state level on them, whether it's in the legislature or just in best practices. One I think you'll see us work together on is regional mobility, transportation. I think that'll be a prime topic for the Northwest Arkansas Council. and the Metro Little Rock Alliance region to work on together, not be at odds, but actually come up with strategies that benefit both regions, or super regions.
Well, are we talking highways? Are we talking airport infrastructure? Are we talking something that's not even out there yet, like a high-speed rail type service? Or?
No, I think primarily highway. Highway dollars need to go where the traffic is, as a general statement, and I think our two regions agree on that. And with the recently enacted vote by the people, that's going to enhance dollars in those two big metro areas for further infrastructure, and we'll work together on that.
One of your final R's was race. You talked about race pretty much in the context of the public school system in Little Rock specifically. Tell me what you think needs to happen, because that is not a needle that's going to move overnight in terms of race relations or repair of our public school system. What can realistically be done in your year as chairman?
Well, I think we want to start out with a program to improve literacy called Our Kids Read, and you can find out about that on the Chamber website or on the Delta Trust website as well. And it's a program to tackle third graders and make sure they're reading at the grade level. 1,500 third graders do not read at the grade level in our community in Pulaski County with the 3 school districts. And my point was the business community has to lead here. It cannot give up. It cannot abdicate. It can't sit in the bleachers while this continued poor performance in our schools goes on, and that's a small way we can make a difference.
So just that one particular initiative, do you see the opportunity for other initiatives as well, or is this something you're going to try to open up a greater dialogue on?
Well, I think so. I mean, I think we want to have a broad community dialogue on how we can improve public education in Pulaski County, and I think the Chamber will do its part to lead that.
Last question for you. You're a bank CEO of a very busy bank in Central Arkansas, and now you've got this chairmanship on top of this, which I know is an extremely time-consuming proposition. How are you going to juggle those two balls in the air at the same time?
Well, it's like the old adage, which half day are you not working? It'll be busy, but we've got a great team at Delta Trust, and they're fully supportive of my time to help in the community, so we'll do well, I think.
All right. He is FrenchHill. He's the CEO of Delta Trust and Bank and the incoming chairman of the Little Rock Regional Chamber of Commerce. As always, French, thanks for being here.
Thanks, Robbie.